He went in for naturalization. He came out with a deportation notice. Hi, I'm Jim Hacking, immigration lawyer practicing law throughout the United States out of our offices in St. Louis, San Diego, Washington, D.C., and Chicago, Illinois. In today's video, we're going to talk about a poor guy who reached out to us recently. He had applied for citizenship and it didn't go well. It did not go the way he wanted. And I'm telling you this story to illustrate what can happen to you in 2025 at USCIS. I always say that naturalization, becoming a U.S. citizen, is their last chance to look at you, and sadly, it's their last chance to deport you. So let's call this gentleman Simon. So Simon came to the United States a long time ago. He came as the unmarried son of a lawful permanent resident. So there is a category called F2B for the adult children of lawful permanent residents, and right now, there's about a 10-year wait. And the one thing you can't do if you're in the F2B category is to get married. But in any event, his mother had filed an I-130 petition for him. He waited years and years for the petition to be approved and for his priority date to become current. Right now, there's about a 10-year wait on the adult children of lawful permanent residents, depending on the country, for them to come to the United States and get that visa. So in this situation, mom filed an I-130. The case was pending at USCIS for, let's say, 7-8 years. Then eventually his priority date becomes current, his I-130 gets approved, and he gets put in line for an interview at the embassy. He goes ahead to the embassy, he gets his immigrant visa, and before he gets on the plane to come to the United States, he and his family have the very, very wise idea, I say that facetiously, which means I'm not being serious. They have the very, very smart idea to go ahead and get married because he has a longtime girlfriend. He's been waiting to bring her to the United States and to get married because he knew that if he got married, he would fall out of the F2B category. If you do get married, it's as if that petition was never filed. It's instantly over. There's no way to resurrect it. But in any event, he gets the visa from the embassy. He goes ahead and marries his girlfriend. Then he gets on a plane and comes to the United States. Years go by, and he decides to apply for citizenship. He applies for citizenship without an attorney. And he goes to his naturalization interview, and the officer is reviewing the N-400. And of course, the N-400 would have the date that he became a lawful permanent resident and the date on which he got married. And it's that date on which he got married that is the big problem here. So here he thought, he passed his naturalization test. The interview went fine. All of the questions were answered correctly. Honestly, he passed his test. He did everything he was supposed to do. He showed that he was a person of good moral character. And he thought that he was going to get an oath ceremony. Well, lo and behold, the officer figured out that he had gotten married before he arrived in the United States, that the date of the marriage predated the date on which he came to the United States and then received his green card. So USCIS has concluded that he should never have been admitted as a lawful permanent resident, and it seems that legally they are right. So they denied his N-400. Now, historically, for the last 10 years or so, a denial like that, USCIS would just let it ride, let it sit, and they wouldn't really go after our friend Simon because I think in their mind, in the old days, it was sort of a rough justice. You're not getting to be a citizen, but we're not going to deport you. Now, technically, they are right. He should not have been granted lawful permanent resident status, and he doesn't have legal status accurately in the United States. And so what has happened for Simon is not only did he receive the N-400 denial notice, he also received what's called a notice to appear. Now, in the title of the video, I made it sort of cheeky, like he walked in to get his naturalization and he walked out with a notice to appear in immigration court. That's not actually what happened. It actually came in the mail. But the two pieces of mail came together. And that's the point of the video. The point of the video is that he went in thinking he was going to become a citizen. Instead, now he's facing deportation, saying, not only are we not giving you your citizenship, but we're going to give you a notice to appear. And of course, the notice to appear would lay out why he's removable from the United States. Your name is Simon X. You entered the United States on this day. You came in on the F2B category. The F2B category is for people who are unmarried. And because you got married before you entered the United States, you are subject to removal because you are not a proper lawful permanent resident. And he is now going to have to hire an attorney and defend himself in immigration court and to try to stay in the United States and to not lose his lawful permanent resident status. I think it's an uphill battle. So if he had come to us beforehand, we would have asked him these questions and we would have determined that he might not have deserved the green card that he received and that it might not be a good idea in this climate, under these circumstances, under the law as it exists, to actually apply for citizenship. That was the big mistake of all, was applying for citizenship in and of itself, because that is their last chance to deport you, as this poor guy Simon has now found out. So if we hear more on Simon's case, we'll let you know. But the point of the story is that they are looking at every single aspect of your immigration file. They're looking at any prior visit visa applications, any visa applications you ever made at the embassy, what your status was when you entered. They're looking at your marital timeline. They're looking at your immigration timeline. They are looking for whatever they can because they have a quota. Stephen Miller and Donald Trump want ICE to deport 3,000 people every day. And in order to do that, they need to find the immigrants. And in order to do that, they're having USCIS be almost deputized as ICE officers to find people like Simon to deport. So buyer beware, be very careful about applying for your next immigration benefit. You probably want to have some help from a competent immigration law firm. And if you want to work with us, we'd love to work with you. And we have two ways for you to get a hold of us for the purpose of talking about hiring us. You can call us at 314-961-8200. You can email us info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com. Again, that's for people who are interested in hiring us to be their lawyers on their N-400, on their green card case, on their immigrant visa case. For everybody else who just wants free advice, you can follow us on TikTok at Immigration Hacking. You can join our Facebook group, the Immigrant Home Facebook group. We have 15,000 people in there. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel, where we have hundreds and hundreds of videos talking about all different kinds of immigration concepts. And it's also the place where we host our Immigration Answers live show. That's a show that I do 2 or 3 times a week, answering immigrants' questions for free on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. We'd love to have you join us there. If you want to get in the waiting room to ask us a question, text the word SHOW, SHOW, to 314-470-3300. And finally, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel so that whenever we go live, you'll be alerted, and you'll also receive a notice whenever we post a new video like this one. Thanks so much for watching. Give us a thumbs up, and we'll see you next time.